Hello to all my dear student. I am Deepen Singh, your biology teacher. Welcome to all of you in our school's YouTube channel SJEC E-Class. Okay student, as we know we are discussing our 8th chapter circulatory system, and we already discussed various important topic related to this chapter. And in today's class we are going to discuss blood pressure. But before starting blood pressure, let's read or learn something about pulse rate, the rate of heartbeat. As we know, the rhythmic contraction of heart is also felt in the arteries in the form of pulsation or as regular jerks called pulse. Each ventricular systole starts a new pulse. The pulse rate is the same as the heart rate, such as 68 to maximum 72 times per minute in a normal condition. Pulse can be felt in a radial artery at the wrists. Now let's start the topic blood pressure. First of all, blood pressure is the pressure which is exerted by the blood discharged due to contraction or left ventricle on the wall of blood vessels. Blood pressure is maximum in main arteries during ventricular systole, means ventricular contraction. It gradually drops in the arterioles and capillaries and become very low in veins. The next thing is blood pressure is measured as systolic pressure and diastolic pressure. Let's see what is diastolic pressure. Means the pressure which exerted during relaxation of ventricle, means ventricular diastole, and it is about 80 mm of Hg in a normal person, while in systolic pressure it is the pressure exerted during ventricular contraction known as ventricular systole, and it is about 120 mm of Hg in a normal person. Okay student, here is a diagram which represent the measurement of blood pressure using a sphygmomanometer. Means blood pressure is measured with sphygmomanometer. It has an inflatable bag-like cuff, a compressible bulb and a screw for releasing pressure. Then a mercury manometer and two rubber tube as shown in the diagram. The connecting bulb and manometer with the cuff. Now the cuff is wrapped around the upper arm of the person and is inflated by compressing the bulb. The sound of blood flow can be heard through a stethoscope. The sound of blood rushing through the arteries at peak pressure represents systolic blood pressure. Clear? The normal blood pressure is 120 by 80 mm Hg. means 120 is systolic pressure and 80 is diastolic pressure. Clear? Next topic is hypertension. It is also related with blood pressure. Let's see how. As we know, blood pressure above 120 to 130 mm of Hg is called as high blood pressure or hypertension, and it is caused mainly due to the narrowing of arterial lumen by thickening in the wall of arteries. Very high blood pressure can lead to rupture of capillaries or even arteries, causing internal bleeding. Clear? Next thing, the types of blood vessels. Means in our human body, the blood vessels are of three types: arteries, veins, and capillaries. And today we are going first to understand how arteries work in our human body. Let's see. Arteries are distributing vessels, means they are distribute fluid present in it. They carry blood which is present in arteries from heart to various body parts. All arteries except pulmonary artery carry oxygenated blood, means pulmonary artery only and only pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood. Artery have thick, elastic and muscular wall and narrow lumen. Their lumen is without valves, means arteries branch into smaller arteries, then arterioles, and end in the form of capillaries. They carry blood under pressure and blood flow in them with jerks. Arteries are deep seated. The next type of blood vessel is vein, and veins are collecting vessels, means they collect fluid material from the various body parts, means the veins collect blood from various part of the body and carry it to heart. All the veins except pulmonary vein carry deoxygenated blood, means only and only pulmonary vein carry oxygenated blood. Vein have thick, less muscular wall and wide lumen, as we can see in the diagram. Their lumen was pocket-shaped valve to prevent backflow of blood. Small veins are called venules. Venules are formed from capillaries and join to form veins. Blood flows smoothly in vein. Veins are situated superficially and can be seen from the surface of skin. Next topic is capillaries, means first of all, capillaries are microscopic vessels about 8 microns in diameter. They are link between an artery and a vein and carry blood from arterioles to small veins or venules. The wall of capillaries is formed of a single layer of endothelial cell, means simple flattened epithelial cells. They lie in contact with the body. Here is a interrelationship of different blood vessels shown in the diagram. The red vessel represented as artery and the blue one represented as vein. And the mixture of artery and vein is known as capillary network. Clear? The next is what is the difference between arteries, veins and capillaries? Means the characteristics. First of all, if we talk about thickness, means arteries are thick, muscular and elastic, while veins are thin, less elastic and less muscular. And if we talk about capillaries, they are very thin, formed of single layer of endothelial cells. Next characteristic is lumen. In arteries, lumen are narrow, in veins they are wide, and in capillaries very narrow lumen is present. In arteries, valves are absent, while in veins valves are present, and also in capillary valves are absent. There are following features such as direction of blood flow, pressure and speed of blood flow, nature of blood flowing through, and the position in the body, which are totally different among all the three. Clear? Next thing is that circulation of blood, means how blood circulate in our body. In our body there are three types of circulation is found. First one is double circulation, then pulmonary circulation and systematic circulation. First one is double circulation, means blood in our body flows through two independent circulation: pulmonary circulation and systemic circulation. Then we can say that the double circulation in human body divided into two types of circulation: pulmonary and systemic. Let's see both of them. First of all, pulmonary circulation. The deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle is pumped to lungs through pulmonary arteries, and inside the lungs blood is oxygenated. The oxygenated blood from lungs is returned to heart into the left auricle by pulmonary vein. Okay students, next is systemic circulation. In systemic circulation, the oxygenated blood from left ventricle goes to all the body parts through aorta and is returned to heart as deoxygenated blood to its right auricle through superior and inferior vena cava. As the blood move twice through the heart, means the oxygenated circulation and deoxygenated circulation, it is called double circulation. Clear? Here is a diagram which represents the circulation of blood found in human being. In this diagram, the blue color represents deoxygenated blood in our body, while the red is responsible for oxygenated blood found in our body. The next concept is portal circulation. But before starting portal circulation, there is arterial and venous system also present in our body. What is a venous system? First of all, the system of vessels which transports blood from heart to various organ is called arterial system, and the vessels therein as arteries, means the system of vessels associated with collection of blood from various organ and transporting it to the heart is called venous system, and it is formed of vein obviously. Clear? Now, the vein which starts with capillary and terminates into capillary in some other part of body is called a portal vein. Means the blood flowing through portal vein is called portal circulation. The example is hepatic portal system. Let's see hepatic portal system. Here is a diagram of hepatic portal system found in human beings. Means in a hepatic portal circulation, blood from alimentary canal is taken through hepatic portal vein to the liver before transporting to the heart. The veins that collect blood from different parts of alimentary canal, spleen and pancreas do not open directly into the inferior vena cava. Instead, they join to form hepatic portal vein. It carries blood with digested food to liver, where it ramifies into capillaries, and these capillaries then rejoin to form a pair of hepatic veins. The hepatic veins open in the upper part of inferior vena cava and finally into right ventricle, and in doing so the digested food collected by blood from intestine is received by hepatic cells for storage and metabolism. Clear? Now the next topic is lymphatic system. Means when blood flows from the arterial end to its venous end, its fluid plasma filter out of the thin walled capillaries at the arterial end due to pressure difference. This fluid is called interstitial fluid or tissue fluid, and it carries, means this interstitial fluid carries salt, sugar, amino acids and gases dissolved in it. A part of the tissue fluid gets back, means reabsorbed into the capillaries at their venous ends to complete the blood volume, and most of this fluid flow through a system of fine thin walled channels that form lymphatic system. The fluid collected by the lymph vessels is poured back into the blood as lymph in the vena cava near heart. The lymphatic system consists of lymph, means the fluid part, lymph vessels, means to transport that fluid, and lymph nodes. Let's see what is lymph, lymph vessel and lymph node. First of all, lymph. Lymph is filtered food blood plasma, but it has lower protein content than plasma. It is a clear watery fluid flowing through lymphatic vessels. It is a link between blood and tissue fluid, and also it contains fluid plasma with low protein content and lymphocytes that move out of capillary wall. Lymph is without blood platelets, and it has 94% water and 6% of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, antibodies and antitoxin. Clear? Next is lymph vessels. They are also called lymphatics, and they start as blind lymphatic capillaries in the tissue spaces and join to form larger ducts. The lymphatic capillaries arising in the intestinal villi are called lacteals, and these absorb digested fat from the intestine as chylomicrons. After a fatty meal, the lymph appears milky and is called chyle. Now, the lymphatics form a network in the body and have valves to maintain flow of lymph together towards larger veins. The lymphatics return water and protein to the blood. Now the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are enlargement in lymph vessels like beads in a string. They are formed of lymphatic tissue separated by partitions and contain fine branches of lymphatics. They are present in neck, armpit, and groin. Tonsils and adenoids are the masses of lymphatic tissues. In our human body, thymus gland and spleen are lymphatic organs. Now the function of lymph. Lymph help in the distribution of nutrients and oxygen to tissue cells, and it help in the removal of nitrogenous waste and carbon dioxide from the tissue cells and pass them to the blood. It absorb fatty acids and glycerols, means the digested fat in the villi of intestine through lacteals. Its lymphocytes destroy harmful pathogens found in our body, and it control concentration of proteins in the tissue fluid. It serves to equalize body temperature. Now, what's the significance of lymphatic system in our body? As we know, lymphatic system primarily serve for the return of fluid tissue to blood, and if there is no lymphatic return, blood volume would continue to reduce and tissue fluid would increase because of leakage at the capillary level. Then it returns protein to blood and help in maintaining osmotic concentration of blood to facilitate exchange of materials between blood and tissue fluid. Clear? Now the spleen found in our body and work as a lymphatic organ. Spleen is also known as the blood reservoir, means it is, first of all, spleen is a large and important lymphatic organ in our body, and it is reddish brown in color, attached to the posterior or outer margin of stomach. Spleen carries out some important function in our body, such as spleen produces lymphocytes, then it destroys worn out red blood cells, hence also called graveyard of RBCs. It acts as a blood reservoir and releases stored blood in emergency and under the stress conditions. Spleen also form RBCs in the embryo. Here is the chapter 8 circulatory system completed. There are some important points such as circulatory system is a transport system. It comprises heart, blood, vascular system, lymphatic system and tissue fluid. Blood is fluid connective tissue and its liquid part is plasma, and cells are erythrocytes, leukocytes and blood platelets. There is an ABO system of blood group is found in human being, and human heart is four chambered and exhibit double circulation. Clear? Now the student, if you like our way of teaching, our hard work, so please subscribe us to be updated about your syllabus and learn more. Okay student, thank you for watching the video.